So this story right here was actually trending #1 on Twitter, and I just had to talk about it just because of the optics of it all. So you see it right here on your screen. It says Omaha Trump rally attendees stranded, several taken to hospital suffering from hypothermia. So basically what happened was 45 had a rally, of course, in Omaha, Nebraska, where it was frigid temperatures out there. I think they said it was like 32 degrees and that was the high. So as the night went on, it got colder, but they were all out there for his rally and whatnot. The only person that really was able to be taken out of that area really left that area in one piece, if you want to call it that, was the person they came to see, and that was 45. The rest of them, on the other hand, they were left to fend for themselves when they said they didn't have enough buses to take all those people back there because it was so many people that had attended. Let's get into it. Hundreds of 45 supporters were left in the freezing cold for hours after a rally at an airfield in Omaha, Nebraska on Tuesday night, with some walking around 3 miles to waiting buses and others being taken away in ambulances. 7 people were taken to area hospitals suffering from a variety of conditions, and there were a total of 30 contacted for medical reasons, the Omaha Police Department said in a statement. The Omaha Airport Authority had a slightly different figure of the number taken to hospitals. It said 6 were throughout the duration of the event and added it could not confirm that the people were taken to hospitals because of the cold. The temperature in the area was in the mid-30s at the time, but as low as 27 degrees with wind chill. Many of those at the rally at the Eppley Airfield faced hours and long lines to get in and clogged parking lots and busy crowds to get out, hours after Air Force One departed around 9 p.m. The police said the last person was loaded onto a bus at the rally site at 11:50 p.m., about 3 hours after the event had ended. On Wednesday, Jim Crow Joe, Mr. Touchy Philly, said the incident was an emblematic of 45's whole approach. Just look what happened last night in Omaha after the 45 rally ended. Hundreds of people, including older Americans and children, were stranded in sub-zero freezing temperatures for hours, Jim Crow Joe told reporters during a brief speech in Wilmington, Delaware. Several folks ended up in the hospital in an image that captured 45's whole approach in this crisis. He makes a lot of big pronouncements, but they don't hold up. The police department said 25,000 people had been taken to the rally site by 40 buses running from 10 a.m. until the rally began at 8 p.m. According to dispatches from the department, recorded by the radio communications platform Broadcastify, at least 30 people, including the elderly, an electric wheelchair user, and a family with a small child or with small children, were among those requiring medical attention after hours of waiting in the cold. Supporters of the president were bought in, but buses weren't able to get back to transport people out. It's freezing and snowy in Omaha tonight, Nebraska State Senator Megan Hunt tweeted. NBC News has reached out to the Trump campaign, Omaha Fire, EMS, and the Douglas County Sheriff's Office in Omaha and has not received a comment. There's an issue with a number of people unable to find their cars and wandering in the cold. To see if we can't get everybody reunited with a car, the Omaha Police Dispatch 1129 recording said. I've got an elderly male that's down 10 blocks, having a hard time breathing now. Audio on Omaha Police Dispatch 1100 said, while another says subject says he's about to pass out. The recording say 20 buses backed up and created jams as rally goers had to be shuttled back to busy parking lots and exits. The dispatches also referenced patients being taken to the Creighton University Medical Center. NBC News reached out to the hospital but did not receive a response. The police department said in a statement that when many people decided to walk several miles to the parking areas, the foot traffic created further delays in getting the buses to the rally site to pick up those who were waiting. On Wednesday, the Trump campaign said in a statement, 45 loves his supporters and was thrilled to visit Omaha last night. Despite the cold, tens of thousands of people showed up for his rally. Because of the sheer size of the crowd, we deployed 40 shuttle buses, double the normal allotment, but local road closures and resulting congestions caused delays. At the guest departure location, we had tents, heaters, generators, hot cocoa, and hand warmers available for guests. We always strive to provide the best guest experience at our events, and we care about their safety. Ahead of the event, the Omaha Police Department warned on Twitter that parking at the 45 rally is full. They said, parking at the Trump rally is full. Shuttles will no longer be transporting people to the event. You will not be able to access the rally by foot, Uber, or any other means of transportation. Parking is not allowed in surrounding neighborhoods, roadways, or businesses. So they let the people know ahead of this rally that what it was about, what it was going to be about. So the people who decided to keep on going out there, and they knew it was going to be packed ahead of their warning, ahead of the Omaha Police Department's warning, that's on them. All they could give was a warning. They can't tell people you can't go. They were just like, look, you can go, but it's going to be packed. And if you get stranded or something happens, you're going to be stuck. So it's not like they didn't give them a warning and said what it was. So they can't even be mad at the Omaha Police Department. That's something they got to take up for themselves. But let's be real here. They're going to find a way to shift the blame elsewhere. Is there any place you would rather be than a Trump rally on about a 10-degree evening? It's cold out here, but that's okay, 45 said as he arrived at Eppley Airfield wearing a heavy black coat and gloves. Crowds cheers as he pretended to close up his coat. 45 told the crowd he'd been to Wisconsin and Michigan earlier Tuesday, where it had also been freezing and raining, and thanked the crowds for attending. I said I won't put on a hat because I'm going to show you how tough we are, he said. It was pouring and it was freezing. It is the coldest right here, right? It is an honor to be with you, I have to say. When we win, you win. Nebraska wins and all of America wins. Well, 45 was the only one who was winning out there last night because he was the only one able to really get out of there ahead of all of the chaos, while the rest of them, as you can see, said they were suffering from hypothermia. Some had to be taken to the hospital and just they had to suffer in that cold. Some had to walk. Listen, walking is different when it's warm or even a nice spring day. But when it's 27 degrees and cold and freezing, a 3.7 mile walk, first off, is already long enough as it is. But a 3.7 mile walk when your skin is freezing and it's bone chilling cold, that's another different type of walk. It takes a bit longer because it's hard to really maneuver. And then you feel like you're trying to walk faster so you can get to where you're going. But trust me, it feels like a much longer walk than it actually is. But that's on them. They went out there, and of course, many of them are still going to support him regardless. If they haven't voted already, they're still going to vote for him. Many of them probably early voted for him anyway. But what else do you want me to say? These are grown adults for the most part. Of course, they had some kids there, but their mind is there with, their parents or other adult guardians over the age of 18. They got the warning from the department what it was going to be about, that they wasn't going to be able to take a Uber or they weren't going to be able to park certain places because it was going to get filled up. That's on them. So the fact that they got a warning makes me not feel anything even more. I mean, I already didn't, but now I really don't. But y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments.